Last week, for the first time ever, I had people coming in saying, don't touch my arm because my arm hurts from my vaccine. I had people coming in saying, can't feel my arm, or I have pain in my arm ever since I've had my vaccine. I had people showing up, actually not even showing up into the office because they were sick from their vaccine. And it's kind of an interesting time in our world where all of a sudden we think that the solutions to our problems are going to come from the outside rather than the inside. So I guess what I want to do right now is I just want to really summarize some of the strategies, whether you get a vaccine or whether you don't get a vaccine, some of the strategies that you can use to both prevent COVID-19 and address any side effects that you actually might encounter for the vaccine. So first of all, you're going to want to eat clean, right? Ideally organic food. Avoid all kinds of foods, processed foods of all kinds, because they're loaded with those damaging omega-6 linoleic acids that just wreak havoc on your mitochondrial function. So next week, I'm going to be looking for a video that I made about, it should be coming out on omega-3s and the ratio there and how your omega-3s affect your health. In fact, we're going to be doing a special in the office just because I just so fully buy in on omega-3s and the importance of it on your health there. So look for that video next week. We're actually going to be giving a 10% discount on anything in the office in regards to omega-3s. But also, you want to consider things like nutritional ketosis, or something is very, very low sugar and time-restricted eating. So if you guys haven't received, if you're not doing the challenge, just let me know and I can send you the links. In fact, the links, if you go to our website, drtjosborne.com, on the blog, I actually put a link to the resources for our latest challenge as far as healthy eating, trying to get you in what we call the advanced plan. And there's also a section on there, what we call time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting. Look, both of these things are going to help you optimize your metabolic machinery and your mitochondrial function. Remember, your mitochondria are the powerhouse for your cells. The goal is also going to be to have you detox, and they have to think about glyphosate because, we have to prevent inflammation in all the tissue sites, right? We have to keep our immune system healthy. So you're going to want to be burning ketones instead of sugar, right? You want to be a fat burner rather than a sugar burner to reduce the neuroinflammation. So if you're going to want to get your body in ketosis or as close to ketosis as possible, you got to take away the stress from the mTOR pathway. So maybe what we'll do is on a different video, we'll talk about the mTOR pathway because it's literally is one of the keys for understanding aging and anti-aging there. But with regards to glyphosate, a real simple way to block glyphosate is to be able to take glycine, or in our office we have something called that's called Biome. It's something that you can take every day, which will block your body absorbing glyphosate. But in regards to glycine, approximately 3 grams, about half a teaspoon, a few times a day should be sufficient, along with an organic diet. So that the big key is we just don't want to add glyphosate to each meal because it just destroys our gut. To improve detoxification, I always recommend things like natural glutathione, right? Your body makes glutathione, but in our toxic age that we live in, there's just not enough of it to go around, especially if we're receiving these vaccines, especially if we're taking medications that, our body just can't produce it. And that's why, we use our daily detox product in the office. So if you are going to be getting the vaccine, make sure you start that before and after, just so we can minimize the damage that these vaccines cause. Look, every medication causes damage, and vaccines are no different. And this isn't even a vaccine; it's an experimental immunologic therapeutic. It's not a true vaccine there, but it does have all the preservatives in there that a traditional vaccine has. So there's only 2 things you put in your body: there's nutrients or toxins. And if it's not a nutrient, it's a toxin. So obviously, the vaccine is not a nutrient, so it can only be one of the other things there, right? But all these strategies should really help you improve your resilience to like the SARS and CoV-2, and may even help your body detoxify if you've made the mistake, like I said, of getting this experimental gene therapy. Another strategy is to help maintain a neutral pH. Look, you want your pH to be around 7, and you can actually measure this with inexpensive urine strips. The lower your pH, the more acidic you are, the less your white blood cells can actually function in an acidic environment there, the less your body can detoxify. So improving your pH will improve your resilience of your immune system. It reduces the mineral loss from your bones, and also reduces your risk of osteoporosis. We actually, there's a video on our Discover Chiropractic San Jose YouTube site that is called Fight for Your Health, PHIGHT. But here's the thing, what we found really during this time that's really brought in awareness is that nutritional supplementation is really helpful. And among the most important, you know it, your friend and my friend, vitamin D. Look, vitamin D supplements, they're readily available. They're one of the least expensive supplements on the market. In fact, national governments are actually recommending and actually providing vitamin D to their people during this time. So vitamin D, all things considered, vitamin D optimization is likely the easiest and most beneficial strategy that anyone can do to minimize the risk of COVID-19 and other infections. And you can strengthen your immune system in a matter of weeks by getting your vitamin D levels up to normal. It's been estimated up to 90% of our elderly people are deficient in vitamin D. Well, that means that their immune system can't even function. No wonder why it's, COVID and other flu or bacterial infections attack our elderly. There's another supplement, N-acetylcysteine, NAC, and it really is a precursor to to reduce glutathione. So, like, what that means is that if you have low NAC, you're going to have reduced glutathione production, which appears, and the studies are showing, to play a crucial role in COVID-19. According to one study that I read, glutathione deficiency may actually be associated with COVID-19 severity, and it led the authors to actually conclude that NAC or N-acetylcysteine is useful for both the prevention and the treatment. So, look, if you're worried about COVID-19, focus on prevention. Don't focus all of your energy on not getting something, because if you put all your energy into preventing it, then you won't get it, right? And guess what? If you watch some of our other videos, we talk about eventually everybody's going to get it anyway. So you might as well be the person that gets it, never even knows that they have it, because you're so healthy. Because remember, healthy people, they get exposed, they don't know anything. You have unhealthy people that get exposed, they get sick. And sick people get exposed and they actually die from this. So this is a very contagious virus, but it's only dangerous to sick people. It's not dangerous to healthy people. Another thing is zinc. Zinc plays an incredibly important role in your immune system and your body's ability to ward off infections. Things like vitamin D and zinc, they help regulate your immune functions, and a combination of like zinc, and quercetin was shown in this one study, like when they were talking about the SARS coronavirus, right? This was in 2010. So we had this coronavirus in 2010, the SARS one. And what they did is they put them in cell cultures, and it actually blocked the virus's ability to replicate within minutes. Okay. So importantly, zinc has been shown to impair, deficiency has been shown to impair your immune function. Now, here's another one, and most people don't realize this, but as we get older, our body stops producing as much melatonin. Melatonin is one of the things that helps you go to sleep, but what most people don't know is that melatonin boosts immune function in a variety of ways, and it helps to quell inflammation. It also, there's been studies that show that it actually might help prevent the SARS-CoV-2 infection by recharging glutathione, right? Your body's detoxifier. So remember how important it is that when we talk about the 5 essentials of maximized living, we look at your mindset, and we talked in a future video, in past videos, about how fear changes the chemistry in our body. It puts it into a fear-based chemistry, not a growth or healing-based chemistry. We talked about your immune system, which is essentially, which is like when we know that when we get adjusted, it can increase our immune system by up to 200%. We talk about our nutrition, right? The foods that we put into our body are either breaking us down or building us up. They're either building immunity or stealing our immunity away from us there. But and we look at exercise, you need oxygen and movement to move the lymph, and you also need to detoxify. We live in a toxic world. So, the glutathione, it actually enhances vitamin D synthesis. You always have to be detoxing. Another one is vitamin C. And a number of studies have shown that vitamin C is very helpful in the treatment of viral diseases, in the treatment of sepsis, and basically, all of which are applicable to COVID-19. Its basic properties include that it's anti-inflammatory, it's immunomodulator, it's an antioxidant, it's antithrombotic, and it has antiviral properties. At a high doses, it actually acts as an antiviral drug. So actively, and what that means is that it inactivates virus. Vitamin C also works synergistically with quercetin or turmeric, but that's why we use the inflammatics. That's part of our protocol in the office for people that are concerned about, they have weak immune systems, so they're concerned about, having symptoms of COVID-19, or they're actually actively fighting a COVID-19 infection. We want them to make sure they're taking quercetin, because quercetin is a powerful immune booster. It's a broad spectrum antiviral. It was initially found to provide what they call broad spectrum protection against SARS. Remember the SARS coronavirus in the 2003 SARS epidemic. Wait a minute. So we had a 2003, we had a 2010, we had a 2020. Do you guys notice there's a pattern here? And the same thing that worked for one works for all, right? And so the evidence suggests that it's useful for the prevention and treatment of the SARS-CoV-2 as well. Another one is your B vitamins. So B vitamins are actually, they can influence our several COVID-19 specific disease processes, including viral replication, invasion, the thing that they call the cytokine storm. It helps with adaptive immunity, and it actually helps prevent the clotting that is so common with people fighting COVID-19. And look, guys, you can't forget about spine health, right? You can take all the vitamins you want, but if your nervous system, which controls every single tissue, cell, and organ in your body, including your immune system, is not functioning at 100%, there's no way your immune system can function. There's no way that your body can function. There's no way that you can be 100% healthy. So remember I told you that, healthy people get this and they don't know it. The nervous system runs through the spine, right? And it's that the spine's your suit of armor, and it assists your immune system. So when we're subluxated, we have these misalignments. They can cause stress in the body and the nervous system, like I said, which weakens your immune system. So on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, when you get adjusted and we correct your subluxations, this helps to your body to adapt and rid itself of stress, and it equips you to fight off illness, giving your immune system a boost, right? During your next adjustment, know that when we're adjusting you, you're going to leave the office with a straighter spine, stronger immune system. In fact, studies have shown, like I said, that chiropractic adjustments will boost your body's defenses, allowing you to fight off diseases. One study actually, like I said, showed that patients that received chiropractic care had a 200% greater immune competence than those that had not received chiropractic care at all. So yes, killing flu-causing bacteria is a good tactic when trying to avoid getting sick. But if your immune system isn't strong, right, it's not strong enough to fight it off, you're still going to fall ill, no matter how much scrubbing, no matter how much hand sanitizing, no matter how many masks you wear, no matter how many gloves that you put on, no matter if you drive in your car with your mask on, and if you stay in your house. The other thing is this. For your max mind moment, we're going to talk in a future video about epigenetics. And I think one of the things that's really important is that prolonged fear and anxiety brought on by major stressors like the corona pandemic, it can not only takes a toll on a person's mental health, but they're actually finding it's going to have a lasting impact on our future generations. In fact, there was a study done that said that actually affects a man's sperm composition that could affect his future offspring. When they look at it from an epigenetic perspective, which means beyond your genes, how your genes express themselves based on the environment that they find themselves in, what they have found is that it can not only affect this generation, but the next generation, but the next generation. So the stresses that we're under right now are going to affect the next 3 generations of our offspring there. So this sperm study and the provocative New England, like that was in the Journal of Nature. This is groundbreaking. So we got to get out of this stress, with the emotional stress, the physical stress, the chemical stress, and you are responsible for your health. So how do we get healthy, right? It's like telling me the day that love happened, right? Love just doesn't happen in a day. It's impossible. Love happens over time. Do you go to the gym and do you look in the mirror and you're like, am I in shape today? No, it doesn't mean that going to the gym's not working. It's about the consistency, right? Not the intensity. So you could work out, all day long and still not look better. But if you work out on a repetitive basis, consistently, over time, your body's going to change. What's brushing your teeth every day for 2 minutes if you don't have consistency, right? You could brush your teeth all day long and it'll be damaging, but if you just brush your teeth every day for 2 minutes, over time, you're going to keep your teeth. Look, working out once a month or 3 hours doesn't get you into shape, but working out every day for, like we do, our 12-minute surge does get you in shape. So I guess it comes down to this: is we can really focus on what's wrong right now, right? And that's what a lot of people are doing, is they're talking about what's wrong in society, what's wrong in our health. But I want to challenge you today. This is Sunday. Let's talk about what's right. So if you ask somebody what's bothering them or what's wrong with them, you'll just get more of that problem. So I want to ask you today, what do you want, right? What do you want out of your life? How do you want to shift things? And when you ask what do you want, then what you do is you redirect your focus from the problem to the solution. Do you want to be healthy, right? Don't focus on, do you want to have a good relationship? What do you want out of today? So in any situation, no matter how dismal, there's always a desirable outcome to be achieved. And ideally, it's a win-win. So your goal, my goal as a leader in this world, should be to interrupt the patterns of the problem, right? To interrupt the patterns that we people are talking about, to pivot and change the direction towards the solution, right? We always want to talk about solutions and move away from the problems. And you'll solve problems by staying flexible enough to change. You'll solve problems by adapting to being playful and to trying something new. So the more flexible you are, the more options you create, the more doors you open, and the more solutions you create. Guys, this is Dr. Osborne. Have an amazing Sunday. Make sure that you look for the omega-3 video coming out there. It's going to be groundbreaking for you. If you've never taken omega-3s, I promise you at the end of that, you're going to be like, this is something that I need to incorporate in my diet. But I would just ask you to like, click, share this if this information was valuable for you. The only thing that I ask you to do is just consistently take action. Make it a great day, and I will see you next week.